We are back with more My Southern Home, and I'm here with Floyd Bond with Pioneer Log Systems and Andrew Thompson with Andrew Thompson Construction. And Floyd, I'm really excited to have you on the show today because all of these beautiful beams and trestles and all of this material that it took to make this beautiful space came from your company.
Yeah, that's right, Kimberly. We had what we try to do at Pioneer is we are using the old world tradition of timber framing and joinery and incorporate it in modern construction so that you have the advantage of both. You've got the quality and the reliability of the old timber frame, but you also have the atmosphere that it gives, to the project. And Andrew and I have worked together for well over 12 years. Just doing these type of projects, and that's what we did here. Andrew came to me with this project and wanted to incorporate these elements that we've used in the past. So what we did is we sat down and had excellent drawings. The drawings were well done, and so we went through and just made a few minor changes so that we could allow the timbers to work in unison with the existing project.
Well, and Andrew, I've worked with you for a long time, and I love having you on the show because you use quality products and quality subcontractors to help you create these magnificent spaces. So what makes you gravitate toward a company that uses old world methods on modern products?
Well, it's really simple. With Floyd and with Tom at Pioneer, if you're not talking to them about timber framing, if you want a timber frame or if you want a timber frame look or you want specialty wood products, you're not talking to the right people. It's that simple.
So what is the difference between the two products then, structurally?
Well, what we did here, there's a mixture of two. On the porch racks, so that we had a way to communicate, run our electrical, run our gas for our heaters, that's actually wrapped material.
Okay.
Anything above the porch rack are all solid timber frame pieces that were cut at Pioneer and put together by his just fantastic crew. It was seamless, it was perfect, and they deliver every time for me.
And Floyd, beams like the ones above us are really popular right now, and they come in different stains and shades and woods. And do you carry anything anyone wants?
Carry quite a few different woods, and everything's sort of a trade-off. You've got like oak has a very pretty grain and texture, but it's also very heavy and tends to move quite a bit after it's installed. We use white pine, which is a little bit less expensive. It's more economical and takes stain extremely well. Just about any color in the world works on that. But then at the same time, it also does a lot of movement. What we did on this particular project is we used free of heart center Doug fir from the West Coast. And the key to that is that, or the most important thing about that is the fact that the center of the tree is outside of the cut, so the wood stays extremely straight with very little checking, very few cracks, and it's very, very stable. It makes a wonderful product for timber framing because it doesn't move much after it's been cut and installed.
Well, and Andrew, and as a contractor, those are all really important things for you to know, what wood does as it ages.
Well, one of the first things we do when we understand that we're going to do something of this nature is we set up an appointment with my friend Floyd, and we go and we look at the different species of wood at their business in Kingston Springs. You've got to allow people for something especially of this magnitude to be able to look and touch and feel and see what they're going to get. Even do samples with the stain on how it's taken by different species. But we've got a little bit of it all here. We have the traditional timber framing solid pieces. We have the wrap 12-inch material. We have structural roof decking. What you see underneath us right now, the shingles are actually attached to. But we get the same look in the flat ceiling right over here, which is a reduction in cost. So we can get the same look, structural versus non-structural, and they can get anything we need.
Floyd, it's so interesting because when you come here and you see this roof, you just think that you went and bought the wood, right? And put it together. You don't think about all the work that goes into it that Andrew just described.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to say about Andrew that's been so helpful and is always so helpful when we do meet is he does so much prep work before he gets there. He's built the project in his mind. He's gone through and thought ahead on all these little details. The groundwork has been done, and so it's just a matter of, filling in the pieces or, adding in the parts that are needed. But yeah, as far as the timbers themselves, of course, we use a timber frame joinery, which is, been around for thousands of years. The mortise pockets, the holes are cut for the tenons in the beam. A mortise pocket is drilled out. The beam will have a tenon on the end, and which will fit into the mortise pocket. A hole is drilled in the side, and then the peg is driven into it. And we will pre-cut all that at our shop and have it ready, numbered and labeled and ready for assembly at the job site.
Wow.
Because if you take like these trusses, once they're assembled, they're very difficult to move from one location to the other. But if they're unassembled, they stack very neatly on the truck, and just bring them to the job site, set them down, put them over to the side, and pull from them when needed to do the erections.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show with me today. It was such a wealth of information.
Thank you for having us.
Always good to be here.
We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment.